I'm not here to pitch you something. This is just me walking you through how I went from feeling shit, stuck, foggy, numb to grounded, clear, and switched on, and actually proud of the man that I see in the mirror. Not just doing all right, but actually leading my life, present in my relationships, clear in my decisions, waking up with purpose and not panic. And no, it didn't come from some podcast or some perfect morning routine. It came from rock bottom, breaking, getting real with myself, and then stripping the bullshit and rebuilding from the ground up. That then turned into this system, not some copy-paste self-help bullshit, but a process that actually rebuilds man at the root. That's what I'm going to walk you through today. There's no edits, no music, just straight talking, straight slides. So if you need some kind of hype tracks to pay attention, click off. But if you're actually ready to change the way you think, feel, lead, and show up in your life, then grab a pen and paper and lock the fuck in, because this could be the most important 20 minutes you give yourself this year. All right, let's get started. I'm going to jump over to the computer now and we're going to go through it.
Guys, thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. I know that it's going to be completely packed with real value and actual takeaways that you'll be able to use and apply in your life. This is the negative identity erasure system. So this is the journey that took me from the guy that's on the left here over 10 years ago, who was not just physically injured, but he was emotionally injured and retarded as well. That's putting it bluntly. I didn't know how to show up in my relationships. I didn't know how to lead myself, and I was purely just chasing distractions and anything that would let me not sit with myself, right? To the guy that's on the right here, who is happy to sit in his emotions, happy to feel through them, happy to actually lead himself with integrity, with authenticity, and to show up as the man that I want to become, and to stop feeling like a failure. This is the journey that took me over 10 years, and now I've condensed it into just something that I can take men through in just 90 days. So as you can see on the left here, this is when I'm 21. I just started my own cafe. I'm making $1,000 a day, right? I feel super successful, externally, but not actually internally. This is where I think I'm doing all the right things. I'm chasing more. I'm looking towards the future and thinking, more money is going to make me, more validation is going to make me, all of that, right? But none of it actually worked. It all just left me feeling quite empty. My relationships lacked depth because I didn't actually know how to show up emotionally, or really how to lead myself or her, because I was so distracted with the noise, the weed, the work, the chaos, anything to avoid sitting with myself. I was working 13, 14 hours a day, then I'm smoking weed when I'm finished, going through that process, like I said, just to avoid sitting with myself, sitting in those feelings and feeling what comes up. To the guy on the right, who now I'm solid in who I am grounded, I'm clear, and I am emotionally steady. I am happy to sit in my emotions and feel them and let them go through my body. I don't avoid them and I don't numb out anymore. I completely rebuilt my identity from the inside out, not just the business, but the actual man behind it. Now I'm present, I feel powerful, and I lead in relationships with purpose and intimacy. And my discipline, man, has that gone through the roof. Now I'm way more focused than I used to be, because I'm free from that chaos that used to control me. So who is this video for? Well, if you are ready to build unshakable confidence and crush every single roadblock that you encounter, this is for you. If you've done the work, if you've been held back by emotional baggage and you want to feel free, fulfilled, and fully alive again, this is for you. If you want a real, true, intimate relationship that's actually built on depth, connection, and sensuality, not just how many digits or how much money is in your bank account, this is for you. If you're ready to carry that true masculine, grounded, divine, powerful presence that people feel when you walk into a room, this is definitely for you. And if you're tired of drifting without any kind of clear mission, and you actually want a clear roadmap to get to where you want to go with purpose and power, this is for you. However, this is not for you if you're happy that you're coasting through life. You've got no real hunger to grow. You're just going through on autopilot. It's not for you. If your ego is too loud to actually take guidance from someone who's been there, who's walked the path, this isn't for you. If you'd rather stay stuck in that idea of wishful thinking than actually go deep and do the work, this isn't for you. If distractions rule your life and you're not seriously craving more, this isn't for you. If you think money, validation, and physique and status alone makes you a man, and you're not actually ready to face what's underneath all of that, what's actually driving, this isn't for you. And ideally, anyone under 30, this isn't going to be for you either. Because let's be blunt, if any of this hits home and you're not actually ready to change it, just click off this video right now. I'm not here to entertain. This is here to help men rise. I'm here to help men rise. Here's the harsh truth, right? Becoming a grounded, fulfilled masculine man after 30 is not as easy as all these gurus, all these fitness mindset people online make it out to be, right? It's nearly impossible. But not because it's too late. It's because most men are sold these subconscious lies. That success will fill the internal void. That emotional intelligence is weakness. That being constantly busy means you're doing well. That's not the case. There's no such thing as too late. They just haven't had anyone sit them down and make them understand they're constantly reinforcing these poor habits and the broken behaviors. Because you're subconsciously rejecting fulfillment, which is your birthright purpose as a man. But what if there was a system, took out that negative and replaced it with the positive? Something that's been refined over 10 years of research, action, and iteration to achieve the most results in a short time as possible. So here's what you'll learn in this system. This is how to erase those shitty feelings that you are convinced are incurable because of how old you are. You've just gone through life this long, and that's what you've been doing. How to build internal routines, habits, and foundations that actually ground you further. How you can naturally attract anyone that's right for you into your life just through your presence alone. And to make you an absolute unit of a father, husband, friend, and colleague through true leadership, just like I did. Now, my turning point came when I had a pretty serious accident, right? This here is me in hospital. I've just fallen off a cliff, shattered my ankle, my tib, my fib, ruptured the tendons, ligaments, everything. I left the hospital, mad painkillers, so I ended up going back to weed to manage the pain, and that became a crutch. After that, I started making $1,000 a day as a 21-year-old in my cafe. However, I was completely disconnected from everything. I was completely disconnected from myself, and this started an emotional spiral because I just didn't know how to sit with my emotions and sit with those feelings and understand what was actually going on there. This took me to move interstate. I started another business up there. That went to shit. The relationship I was in, that fell apart because of my internal struggles. Came back, built another cafe business. COVID hit me, lost that as well. And all of this loss that I experienced, this was the driving fuel to take me to the wake-up call that I actually needed to rebuild my life. This system that I've created comes from that rock bottom. Not just books and theory, but real lived experience. This is my own negative identity erasure system. So this is a structured, systemized program which has been refined over 10 years of real personal work and testing with men through pro bono coaching. When I first started building this, I wasn't even trying to build a program. I was just trying to fix myself. I'd spent over $10,000 on courses, been to the physical retreats, done the therapy, introspective work, plant medicine, all of it just trying to figure out why the fuck there was still this gaping hole inside of me. And I did everything I could to fix it, but nothing actually felt complete. That's when I started forging my own path and became a process that actually worked. What started out as just research and self-healing, it really became far bigger than that. Something that I know I was meant to pass on. And so in this video, I'm breaking down everything I learned, the exact framework that actually made it all click. So this is the next steps for this process. I'm going to walk you through exactly what it is. It means you don't have to go to this unnecessary therapy. You don't have to meditate for 1,000 hours or anything like that, just so you can structure your life around becoming the man you desire. So here we go. This is the no bullshit structure that I built to transform the way that men think, feel, lead, and show up in life. It's definitely not a quick fix, but it's a system that rebuilds your internal foundation so you can create lasting change in every area of your life. This is the exact process that I used to build from rock bottom and now use it to teach men what to do in 90 days that took me 10 years. So on the right here, as you can see, this might be where you're currently at. You are feeling stuck and directionless. You are unclear on who you are or what you want from life. You're just drifting through your relationships and potentially fatherhood as well. You're searching for meaning and power. You're tired of pretending and you're ready to become the man you're born to be. So first we start with what I call the negative identity erasure system. This is where we destroy those limiting beliefs. We find and we burn the old stories that have been holding you back. From there, we build discipline and direction with a rock solid foundation that actually lasts to complete and continue that transformation throughout your life, so you don't get stuck in these bullshit cycles anymore. From there, we have the navigation roadmap. So this is all where we learn about how to navigate life's obstacles, right? Because life always has them, and this is how we can get through them with purpose. It's all about optimizing your physical body so that you have better mental performance, and then we ground and balance our body as well, so that you can then walk your path with purpose. Then we go to the blueprint for emotional mastery and influence. This is so important. I cannot stress this enough, how important it is to learn how to feel, to learn how to lead, and to build trust and persuasion through power and not a performance. And the last is brotherhood, wealth, and fulfillment. This is where you build unshakable and fulfilling bonds. You learn that life is about serving something bigger than you so that you can create meaningful wealth and actually provide with purpose. All so that you end up being the man that is clear in his actions and emotions, a man that can lead with grounded power. You earn respect through discipline and presence, and you are fulfilled through purpose and not performance. This is where you end up after 90 days, brothers. You end up stop feeling like a failure and moving in the right direction that you know you can. So now it's your turn to rebuild. This system I created, it wasn't built in theory. It's actually built in the fire, the real life version of it. I had to completely destroy the version of myself that was sitting in his car every morning, just trying to control his breath to get through the day, then going home at work and just smoking a bunch of bongs, right, just to get through the night. I had to actually rebuild myself as a man into someone who is steady, disciplined, and unshakable, someone my future wife, my future children, and my future community can rely on. Now I'm handing you the exact same blueprint, which is a system that will transform how you think, how you lead, and how you show up in your life. I want that for you as well, because I know that every single man has this potential and the power within him to achieve it. So stage one is the negative identity erasure system. So this is where you break free from those limiting beliefs. To start this, I had to get completely honest with myself. This meant that I was journaling like an absolutely crazy person. I was recording vlogs, I was recording voice notes, getting out my story to work out where my pains was coming from. These were stories about my upbringing, stories from school, stories about people who I was trying to impress, the women that I wanted to date, what society expects of a man, all of that. And internally, there was a thought that if I can't even hold myself together, how could I ever hold a relationship with a woman that truly loves me? From there, I had to stop leaning on weed and money for temporary fixes. I had to stop using these productivity hacks. I didn't need to be busier. I had to do the right work. So from there, I built a sense of self-respect through the consistent action that I needed to be taking. I built discipline from the ground up because I had to lead myself. I didn't have, at the time, a group of people around me pushing me in the right direction, showing me the path. I had to forge it for myself. So this meant I was training when I didn't want to. I was waking up when I didn't want to. I built the structure and then the routine, and inevitably after that, the discipline that I could rely on. Because non-negotiables built into your day, you need to hold yourself accountable to them. Because if you don't, that is where you burn your own self-respect. And from there, it shows other people how they should treat you as well, because you're not a man that takes yourself seriously. Stage two is the navigation roadmap. This is, like I said earlier, about navigating life's transitions with purpose. This is how you find and push through the obstacles through leading yourself and others, because you've actually got your next steps planned. You're not just waiting for life to happen to you. You've actually got a vision, so you can make decisions from that vision instead of from fear. And then I became the kind of man who moves with direction, even when life feels messy, because I've got this vision in my head. I know where I'm going towards. I don't have to live from fear. From then, it became optimizing physical and mental performance. So I was always a guy that was into the gym. I've been lifting for years. I've been training at the gym for years. I'd like to consider that I'm pretty fit. However, one of the things that I never did was actually listen to my body. Now I listen to my body because I'm out of my head all the time. I feel into my body. This meant physically training, moving, lifting, hitting pads, doing hard physical work, getting into boxing. Boxing, brothers, holy shit. If you haven't done any form of martial arts and you struggle with conflict, this is one of the key things that will move you to where you want to be with healthy management of conflict. I learned that the body holds truth. The body teaches presence, and the body doesn't lie. When we feel through our body, when we listen to what's going on in our body, we actually are able to tune in to something that drives us in the right direction. It might be telling us to take a rest, and that's when we know that we need to. That was the thing that I was struggling with. I would just push through. Now, I listen to my body, and I listen. Am I needing to take a rest, or am I just feeling like a little bitch? Through this, I started to learn about the practice of sacred sexual connection, because sex is an energy exchange, and this is what I learned. So now I can embody that in a way that's primal, physical, real, sensual, and spiritual. Now, all of this, guys, it's not about having some kind of body that looks amazing. However, if you don't take care of your body, how can another man or a woman even take you seriously? If you don't have the discipline to take care of that, how can you lead in other areas of your life? Stage 3 is blueprint for emotional mastery and influence. So this wasn't about sitting in therapy or breathing circles, as important as those things are. This was about cultivating my own emotional intelligence and balance. So I had to become aware of how my words impacted myself and others. That little voice inside my head that was saying certain things, bringing me down, I had to change that. And then I had to change the way I was speaking to others as well. So this meant that I was then able to learn about my emotional landscape. And emotional fluency and literacy, man, this is so important. Before doing this work, I thought there was only 3 emotions: angry, happy, or sad. Everything got stuck in those 3. So I wasn't able to explain how I was actually feeling at certain times because I didn't have the language around it. From there, I began to learn about somatic tools and movement-based practices. This is where you get the actual emotions and feelings out of your body through feeling it. Might be some movement, might be some dance, right? Feeling into your body. The goal here wasn't to become some kind of soft and emotional man, but someone who's emotionally grounded as a man. Someone that doesn't run from what they feel. Someone who can sit in what he feels and sit in other people's emotions as well. This is where I then learned to be able to understand the language that other men need to learn their emotions of their inner world. This was integral. From here, this pushed me into becoming way better in my relationships by actually leading my relationships, whether they're friends, whether that's familial, whether it's intimate. It meant that before I was always either passive, I just let things go, or I was always trying to control everything. Now, this came from a place of insecurity. I was always trying to avoid the tension or completely dominate it with complete disregard to the other person's feelings, and neither of these things work. So I had to start changing the angle from which I came from. This wasn't about chasing approval or trying to win the power struggles, but it was coming from a place of me trying to understand the other person, which meant that I was able to show up from a grounded place, speaking clearly, holding space properly. I wasn't scared. I could lead with presence. Everything began changing my relationships. I started attracting the right people into my life that were going to challenge me, hold me accountable, and have healthy conflict. And stage 4 is brotherhood, wealth, and fulfillment. This, guys, this is where you build onto those fulfilling relationships and the communication skills, right? So you stop trying to impress or control in your relationships. You show up authentically as you. This means that you can lead with grounded energy. You're not trying to force anything. You build intimacy through actual presence, not some kind of performance, not some kind of expectation that you think you should be doing. You lead because you have the intuition. This meant I could begin holding my boundaries clearly. Before this, I didn't actually have boundaries. I didn't know what my boundaries were. And now I could start expressing them and holding them. This meant that I was finally respected, not because I demanded it, but because I embodied it. I was showing people how to treat me. That meant that they knew then how to treat me. the brotherhood side, guys. I really cannot stress this enough. Brotherhood and integration. You can do all the work. You can go to the therapy. You can go to the men's groups. You can do your meditations. You can do your breath work, all of it, right? But it doesn't work. None of it works unless you do the work. You have to integrate your lessons. You have to take those lessons with you and actually make the change within. One of those things is to stop isolating yourself and to start surrounding yourself with real like-minded brothers that are going to hold you to the highest standard. They're going to push you further, that are going to challenge you when they need you, because it's all coming from a place of love. So this meant that I then built this genuine brotherhood. These aren't just friends. These are my brothers. These are the people that push me, that challenge me, that will be in a struggle with me. I was able to start giving and receiving support without ego. Before this, I always thought, oh, who am I to give somebody advice in their life? And who am I to receive advice from this person? But then I realized that this group of brothers are people who love me, support me, and respect me, and they want to see the best from me and I them. So this advice, it started coming from a place of love instead of criticism. And that's the way I started taking it, from love. Through this, I was able to find my purpose in helping brothers rise, and I am so much stronger because of it. And now I consciously am creating meaningful wealth, not just going to a job. I've found my purpose. I've found my calling. This brotherhood, it really gave me the momentum, connection, and a sense of belonging that I didn't even realize that I was lacking in my life up until that point. So this system, it was adapted for a man who feels stuck, unfulfilled, and lost in his own success. The guy that looks successful on the outside, making the money, got the car, got the house, got the family, whatever, but internally something feels off. Something feels misaligned. It's for the man who knows that there's more in him but has no idea how to unlock it. The negative identity erasure system helps you rid of the old identity that is keeping you stuck and replace it with the real habits, behaviors, and foundations that will truly last and make difference for you. This is the process that took me over 10 years to figure out, and now I've refined it into something that only takes 90 days. This system completely rebuilt my confidence. It's transformed how I carry myself and gives me the leadership skills that now anchor my life, all rooted in discipline, not some kind of bullshit hype. So if you're ready to step into the man you were meant to be, this system is for you. If you are mentally, physically, and emotionally struggling, right? You feel stuck, unfulfilled, or disconnected. You've lost your confidence. You've lost your self-worth. There's this internal battle that you're fighting every day. Maybe you've tried the therapy. Maybe you've tried the coaching. There's been other modalities you've tried, but they haven't done anything for you. I guarantee you this will be the one for you. So if you are ready to bury the old identity and rebuild yourself into the man that you know that you're meant to be, and you know you can be, if you're willing to step into discipline, purpose, and unshakable masculine leadership, then this is for you. You don't have to wait 10 years. You can do this in 90 days. Now, I've only got a couple of spots left this month. Afterwards, I'm closing my container for the foreseeable future. If you've got any questions or you want to book in for a free discovery call to see if this is the thing for you and to see if we're a right fit together, the link will be down in the description below.